Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Invested. I'm just fielding another question. I think it's a great question. What is it like being a real estate, private equity asset manager? Work-life balance, pay, stress. I'm interviewing to be an asset manager, REPE, which is real estate private equity that has about 8 to 10 billion AUM. AUM is asset under management. How demanding is this job? What are typical hours? Are you expected to work weekends, holiday? I know it's generally Excel intensive, but how advanced should one be? I'm told base will be around 150,000 with a 40% bonus. Is this typical at the senior associate level? Great question. I've been an asset manager. Asset manager is very broad, right? I know you said specifically real estate, private equity, asset manager. So 8 to 10 billion AUM, that's a pretty solid company. They have a pretty large portfolio. I don't know how much you're going to be doing, how many, but depending if you have investors, it's going to be pretty intensive as in reporting. You have monthly, quarterly reports. You're going to be pumping out Excel projections. I don't even think they do DCF models these days, but projection. Then from there, you have to keep track database and meta databases on projected gross IRR to net IRR, actual to projected, because you'll get operations as you operate versus what they had. Let me just kind of give you a broad understanding. Any industry, if you're going to get paid 150,000, 200,000, whatever it may be, no one's going to pay you to work 40 hours and have a cush job paying you that much money. If they're going to pay 150,000 a year, they want to extract at least 10 times to 100 times of your worth. So you're going to be making $15 million worth of value. That's essentially how they pay $150,000. 40% bonus, that's pretty generous. I don't know what the structure or the syndication with these guys are, but, typical asset manager, they're more in the operational side of it. When you say senior associate, they're on the investment side of it. So usually these firms have operation, which is asset management, acquisition, which is investments, and capital markets, who raises that money from third-party investors. It could be CalSPERS, Teamsters, a sovereign wealth funds, blah, 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 right? So, and they get paid relatively pretty well because you're probably raising $500 million funds and deploying that. Blackstone raises $12 billion funds, right? So usually there's two components to compensation. Usually you get your set salary plus bonus. Acquisitions or capital markets, to get a set salary. And depending on your level and seniority, you get to participate in the profit share. Because usually private equities, what they'll do is take their fees, but also they get promoted based on waterfall, based on their performance, right? And if you're senior members, you get to participate in some capacity of the profits the firm generates. Usually 70-30 split, 70 to the house, 30%, but every firm is different. Work-life balance. I don't know how old you are. Don't expect work-balanced life. That's, how should I put this? It's a value trap. People always talk about, I work 4 hours a week. I travel. I do this. I want a good balance. I want to enjoy life. When did you ever meet a highly successful person that has balance in their life? How do you delineate your personal life to work life to any other thing? It gets all intertwined. And when I used to tell my, some members, I used to work 100 hours a week, and they were like, how is that even possible? How can you work 20 hours a day? I'm like, 20 hours a day? Because they're tackling Monday through Friday. Actually, no. A week consists of Monday through Sunday. Yes, I'm working Monday through Sunday. Honestly, I had probably Saturday to myself, but I was working to a certain capacity. Sunday, I was working. I shit you not, I think I was doing on a call with acquisition lawyers doing Super Bowl. I remember hey, you guys have to finish this up. I got to go watch Super Bowl. I remember even doing that. And also, we had investors overseas. So timing difference. So on Sunday at 4 p.m., Asia markets open. They're Monday. I'm getting emails. I'm having conference calls. So there's no real balance. Expect during my time doing private equity, I didn't even hang out with my friends. I don't think I dated. That's why I think probably got married late, because I couldn't date, didn't see family as much. So enjoy that time. If you have time with your family, your mom and dad, your family members, have a lot of dinners together. You're not going to have dinner. You're going to be sleeping at the office sometimes. You'll be working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., but coming back, taking calls at 6 a.m. because you might be taking calls in New York, because 6 a.m. in New York is 9. Sometimes you have London investors overseas. This might be just a domestic, but work-life balance, throw that out. I think you're going to be committed to your trade. How many years you're going to dedicate it to that. So if you're going to work there for 2, 3, 4 years, expect to work minimum 80 hours. When I used to work 100 hours a week, 80, when I had to do work 80 hours, dude, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do with all this time? But most people, 80 hours is like, they think of it as I'm working 2 full-time jobs. And you're doing that. After you do about 80 hours in a week, there's a diminishing return that 80 hour to 90 hour, it's challenging because you're not focused, you're tired, fatigued. Get to 100 hours, man, get out of here. You're just pissed off all the time. So I don't want to discourage you. And maybe the culture is much different than when I was in private equity. But as you move up senior, you become senior VPs and whatnot, you may have a better work-life balance because now you're at a senior level. And a lot of the implementation work is done by junior analysts, associates, and whatnot. But that doesn't mean your skill set is diminished. You put in all that 100 hours a week, 90 hours a week, you accumulated all these skill sets. So when you get promoted and move up the corporate ladder at an executive or senior executive level, you're a lot more dynamic and you can spot things a lot more quicker. So you become a lot more efficient. So maybe you work 70 hours a week, 65, but, expect to work a lot of hours. Don't focus too much on your compensation, 150,000. Invest in yourself for the future. 150,000 is really nothing. But if you get a skill set and learn good habits, maybe you become an entrepreneur. Maybe you go syndication, you start your own company. And that skill set and the boot camp you went through, or I call it myself, paid MBA, that can equate to skill sets of multi-million dollars in the future. So focus on what's current and expect to work long hours. And even you talking about how is the work-life balance, that's already a loss. That's an L. Don't even talk about balance. You need to be excellent at your craft. Become the best at what you do. I don't care if you're flipping burger. Be the best flipping burger. If you go a janitorial company, be the best cleaner. Right? And you might think, oh man, I didn't go to college for that. I'm not telling you that. I'm saying be the best at what you do. Try to be the best asset manager. That's what's going to distinguish yourself and eventually make way more money and have potential future balance and balanced work-life balance. And hopefully that's not probably the answer you were hearing for. You wanted to hear, but I want to just kind of tell you the truth. You reap what you sow. If you're not going to be putting into certain things and you're going to complain about, oh, my life sucks because I can't see friends, I can't do X, Y, Z. You're going to reap what you sow. So when you're going to be committed to being a private equity asset manager, go all in and at least give yourself 2 years and please expect to work about 90 hours a week. I hope that information was helpful. If you like the information, please subscribe, like, and add us comment. Thank you very much.